Okay, so I guess I am on right now. Hello. So I was having some technical difficulties getting on with my friend Gia. So I'm going to start off this live and hopefully she'll be able to join in. We are going to uh, discuss Fire Alchemy, which is a gathering that takes place outside of Chicago, Illinois. It took place at the beginning of August, and it is a part of the Ignite Fire Keepers community. They do several retreats throughout the year. There have been a lot of transitions going on this past year, so this Fire Alchemy was the last gathering for this cycle. Normally there's another retreat that happens in November, December in St. Croix, as well as one happening in the early winter. But with a lot of transitions going on with Gia and Kiki, yeah, we're just giving grace and space for what's to come. But we are excited with a really beautiful team of creatives and planners to be hosting Fire Alchemy again next year in 2024. It'll be a continued evolution of all the really amazing things that have been created and cultivated over the past 4 years, and really furthering the community engagement and co-creation of it all. Oh, and we've got a Gia. Gia. Okay. So let's see if you, okay, requested.
So I just accepted your request. Oh, wait, no.
Hi.
Okay.
Did it work?
It did work. Here. Yeah. No, I don't think you are.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, technology being all funky.
It worked.
But we got it to work.
Yes. Yeah.
But my phone should be working, but should be good.
It's great to see your face.
It's sweaty and it's hot, and I was doing your viral movement from a couple years ago in St. Croix right before this started also. So,
Oh, yeah. Nice. I feel like that was only earlier this year, I think. Maybe it was a different one.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. You've gotten so many times down here now. So many options.
I know. How are you today?
I'm good. Just kind of dropping into prep for what I need to be ready to travel on Thursday. Headed back to the Northeast for 2.5 weeks. So I started the packing process today and planning and trying to take care of myself. So.
Well, I wish you all the ease in that Tetris. That has been my life so much.
Aren't you traveling soon also? Kitty!
Yeah, everyone, this is my cat Tsunami. She's so sweet. Yes, soon I'm traveling to go to Montauk to see Lane, and then to go see my cousin for her wedding in Vermont, and then a family reunion. So it'd be good. Yeah, it'll be fun. We're bringing fire. Okay, so some of you might know who are on here listening, but my mom learned how to spin fire. We're going to spin fire for my cousin's wedding.
Doreen! Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, so it's exciting. Mama Doreen's first real fire show outside of the Ignite community. Yeah, so So yeah. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot and musing on fire alchemy and kind of the deeper reverberations with Liz. Oh, that lighting is so much better on you that way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to use the lamp. I've learned things about lighting or photography or something at some point.
It's difficult. I don't know. I found the best place for lighting in my room is okay, but also just what is she doing? This is like the perfect cat pose. uh, well, you want to talk about fire alchemy?
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. So this was the fourth fire alchemy, and this was your third?
Yes, this is my third and like 7 Ignite experience as a whole.
Nice. Yeah. Crazy. That's so awesome. It's been really cool in my mind to track how these things have grown. And I was talking to Liz today about the 4 pillars and realizing like how deep those all go. And so I wanted to see, I don't know, maybe the intersections of the history of fire alchemy with the pillars and what you thought about all of it. It's a very open-ended question, but
Okay.
sorry, the cat just surprised herself by knocking a bunch of things off in that weird pose.
Yeah, I cats do.
Yeah, but fire alchemy. How's it been the past 3 years for you? What's the journey been like on your end?
It's always a place that is a wonderland of some sort that is just so like radically authentic that it nourishes me and like allows me to come back to my most authentic truth. And it has continued to evolve in so many ways each year from my experience. But like the richness of it has never been diluted as it's evolved and changed and grown in different ways. It just continues to have a really, really rich essence to it in all the ways. And I think the way that the community, just like what the community is and how much they show up for each other, and also the rootedness that comes from the foundation that Kiki created that includes the pillars, really just like intersecting has created a really like alchemical gathering.
Juicy alchemical gathering.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
always like feel transformed by the end of the experience.
Yeah. For those of you who are wondering too, these are the 4 pillars: belonging, authenticity, aligned intention, and oneness. Is it backwards for everyone looking at it too? Because that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm doing it backwards. There we
Oh,
go.
look at this. Hold on. There we go. Belonging, authenticity, aligned intention, and oneness. And so I like how you say that, LD. I'm just going to keep this here for anyone looking, because it is an interesting gathering, right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting gathering, and I love it. It is like a magical, transformative place because it's really different, the like festival culture, like Envision or Symbiosis or Electric Daisy Carnival or anything, or even like a fire spinning or a flow festival. There's a lot of different aspects, and what we're creating. LD stepped up and stepped in as the main co-producer with me this year, and is continuing on that role. And I'm so grateful for everything you are, but it's different to create a gathering that's really based on like tight-knit consent and oneness, on flow, philosophy, and community and authentic expression, I think it ties into the Are you getting a reverberation from me too? Is it just me?
No, I'm not getting any.
Okay, cool. But it's really different, you know. And in our wrap-up meeting for the team, we thought, or we were talking so deeply about the like how we hold the group and how we hold people, because I think that's what makes it really different, and I think that's what helps to create the safety, so then people can show up as their most authentic selves and feel that belonging, so then they are not, you know, like trying to prove anything. And I think that's really fascinating, um, because it's not easy to do, to like facilitate that sort of thing. It takes attention to every detail. So what do you think about all the details that go into these gatherings, and you know, what steps out to you as being the things that help create the most juice within the experience?
I think it goes back to the vision, and every year it's continued to expand and grow. But I think having a vision, I think this year we really wanted to root in on community and consent while still incorporating play and joy and fun and the transformation that involves with all of it. But really coming from a place of how can we make sure that we're communicating the importance of asking for consent and making sure that everyone's feeling safe in the container was a way for people to really show up in their authentic state no matter where it was. And so I think holding that vision and our team, which is like I can't even really describe how amazing our team is.
No, amazing. Amazing.
Like kudos, and I'm just like really excited to like see what's next. But I think everyone really coming together, working together as a team, and holding one another, both from the internal production team, but I think the event as a whole, based off of how it is structured to have like the loose play of it and choose your own adventure, but having so many people who are really open to being in community and connecting with one another allows people to be on their own journey and also receive what they need from it and be able to be held by one another in the community and not just people who are running it, which might happen more so at a retreat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that anything connected?
I don't know. It sounds amazing. Yeah. You know, and I think what's amazing about every single constellation within these gatherings and these retreats is like just what you're saying, like the amazing teams who come together to put them on, you know, and the solidity and communication of the internal team really reflects how the gathering or the retreat happens for everyone, you know, like when everything is harmonious and happy and people believe in themselves and people are excited and they don't come at it at like work, you know what I mean? It really brings that joy through. And I speak to this from lots of different community creations, from like doing the full moon jams to Chiditarod kitchens to Burning Man kitchens to conclaves for the burn to fire dancing retreats, you know, pussy magic programs, all of it. Like when the production team really feels the pillars, I think that it brings that through. So what am I trying to say? Having a core team who embodies the principles and is actively working towards understanding them, I think makes everything exponentially radiate out. Oh no. What am I talking about? Everything.
Just how amazing the experience and the people involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Special.
It is special. So, yeah. Something that really came to me this year about fire alchemy, excuse me, Smoothie burps. Was this circular femme-centered leadership, this very diverse group of uh, thinkers and artists and movers and organizers with varying levels of experience in different spheres, and how I think that's really different than like the pyramid or like the like one person and like trickle down situation. And I wonder if you want to speak to that because you've been organizing festivals and stuff for so long.
Sure. So, yeah, it was really beautiful. I know the past couple of years we've had teams where there were one or two people that would pop in to support you or Kiki in various areas. And this year, from very early on, we kind of opened it up to those who were interested in leaning in and being more involved with behind the scenes. And yeah, everyone just has such great like ideas of how to best support the community and like add to the structure of the event, and just really took on and embodied like the roles that they were stepping into, whether it was doing logistics and coordinating meals and ride shares and sending out communication about what's happening beforehand, or like marketing and like hyping up everyone to let us know what we're doing, and like, also creating like amazing pre-event challenges to like muse into and just like blow our brains with amazing alchemical philosophical philosophy. Um, but yeah, everyone just has so many really beautiful gifts and talents, and like all the workshop leaders we had and the team that really was able to support them and just like make sure that everyone was able to be supported in all the spheres. And just like I know I felt really held and supported, especially getting on site, just not having any like stress or worry about what's supposed to happen, and just seeing it unfolding and everyone really taking ownership of their roles and what they get to offer. And it was just really like beautiful and renewing, just after having done so many events and allowing myself to burn out, and just recognize that I can also like surrender control and trust. And so being able to be in a community that is able to step up and step into what they like offering is just really beautiful, and just like great to see everyone also expand in their experience and their connection throughout the weekend of the gathering. Mm-hmm. So yummy, just everyone's so amazing. And there's so many parts of it. Like I didn't even like share everything. In the workshops we had fire safety training and like nightly gatherings where we had to set up fire circles and dump stations and make sure people know how to properly put out fire and like communicate around the fire circles. We also had an epic performance on the last night where attendees and the team are able to share their gifts and offerings through the art of dance and like the fire as a prayer. Yeah, and just like people just choosing to bring in old jewelry and clothes to share. We have an amazing makeup artist and like selling, having those offerings, and just like also like don't even think, well, like I should get started on the workshops because like they were so epic. I think you were sharing about them in one of the first videos, but like
so epic.
Like the array of creativity and ways to connect with yourselves in new ways are just like, damn, this community is just like so amazing and so creative and so powerful, and just it's great to be able to see and also provide a space for people to connect and share in that way. So it's been my pleasure to step into this co-producer role, and I'm really excited and looking forward to what's to come next year.
I know.
Yeah, we ain't done yet, so save the date. I'm going to drop the save the date now.
Yeah, drop a save the date again. Yeah.
First weekend of August 1st through 5th, 2024. We will be back at Stronghold Castle in Oregon, Illinois. So, save, it's happening.
Awesome. I'm putting it in the comments. If you just search Fire Alchemy Gathering Ignite, come on out. Hi, Michelle. Yeah. I mean, what I was sharing about this in one of the previous lives. This is the third time LD and I have tried this live, and it worked this time, by the way. High fives. Boom. We, um, yeah, I forgot what to say. This
Was
is
it about workshop, something with one of the previous lives you were talking about?
I don't know. I'll just flow with it though. If you want to teach another workshop, the Fire Alchemy Gathering is about featuring your workshops. So we want you to teach workshops. Start thinking about it. But I also want to invite people to teach workshops, not just at Fire Alchemy, but to host them for this amazing community. So if you're listening, invite people to your yoga classes, Michelle, or like host those classes, because that's really fun to stay connected. Because this community is for the community. It is how we create our own belonging. And by saving that date, August 1st through 5th, hint, hint, right, we really commit to strengthening and forging what we want to see and creating the offerings that we want to see as a community. This has been a vision of mine to have a Midwest fire gathering. Avocado, you should come next year to have a Midwest fire gathering that is based on philosophy. And what I mean by that is like the neuroscience behind it, the embodiment practices, the confidence, the prayerformance, the performance with intention, and to have that flow and have a community who's into it happening again and again, and keeps showing up is really fantastic. Also, can you hear this guy who just started power washing outside? Is that annoying? You can't hear that?
No.
Okay, great. But I think rounding that back to this circular leadership, right, and this non-traditional social experiment, which this really is how do we come together to create something? And how do we all rely on each other in new and fascinating ways so that way we're not just trying to get our own agenda or our own like one vision or own desires accomplished, but how do we listen to each person and kind of like lean in and know when to compensate, right? And know how to value each other so we all are really leaning in, which I think is the support and the ease and the stress-free environment that you mentioned earlier that we have, that we experienced because everyone was on their stuff. Nobody was harboring any feelings of doubt in each other. And I think that really changes the way that we can learn to lead together, and have our own little micro areas. Okay, LD is so awesome. Can you tell us about all the different goals that you outlined before?
Yeah, I had like a little brain dump like earlier where you shared with Gia. And one thing I also wanted to add into what you were sharing about just how it worked really well is that there was a lot of open communication also amongst the team about how we were feeling, what we needed, and how we can support one another also, which I think is really important. I mean, we're working together in these high energy like space where we're also supporting externally to make sure that we're checking in with one another and understanding what everyone needs and where we're at. So the internal can really be held strongly. So that was just one additional nugget I wanted to add in.
Absolutely. Add more in. I love it when you talk.
Oh, shut But yeah, that gorgeous brain dump. So I'm a bit of a strategist nerd where I love having a vision or like a big picture and then like getting down to the details and the nitty gritty of like all the things that go into it to make it happen and what those look like. Do I want to do everything? Not always. Sometimes I like to do a lot of things. But being able to see like all the different areas, like just make sure it's like you have a really well-rounded experience that you're prepared for it no matter like what might come up. So we have like the high level of production, which you have been doing a lot of that I got to step into this year, which is kind of the high end, like making sure everything happens and having that timeline and vision for what's going to take place, as well as making sure like ticket sales happen and just working and making sure everyone is supported and knowing what they're doing. Then we have um, all of like the marketing and communication, being able to promote what we're doing, sharing the different details about the experience, the various like campaigns from early bird specials to the flow into prior alchemy challenge, and then not only just promoting it to the public and getting people excited to attend, but also communicating with those who are already signed up and registered to attend to make sure that they have the information they need to be able to attend and have a great experience, and also make sure that they're getting clued in on all these really cool engagement and like nooks. Then we have like our logistical team that makes sure that everyone gets on site and knows what they need. We have lots of documentation, which I really love. I know people sometimes get overwhelmed by online papers with lots of words, but pretty Word, Excel documents is like definitely one of my love languages. Yeah, I think a good doc and spreadsheet is sexy. Anyway, but yeah, logistics team does a lot of that and making sure that meals and housing and accommodations are really taken care of and making sure people are on site and know what they need to get there and everything like that. We also have like that programming team that works on putting the schedule together and kind of putting all the logistical pieces from the day to day, working with the workshop leaders and kind of choosing what's going to be coming into the experience, and that also incorporates the rituals and fire circles at night. So normally there are themes for each day of the gathering, and that gets tied into what the offerings are as well. So there's a lot of just kind of a creative brainstorming that goes into programming and bringing ideas of what we want to create an experience for everyone to life. So I know that was a big part of what you've been doing as well, and I think that's something that you might still have some interest in being involved in. So I see how you build out continue to like engage and receive from the community, because I remember my first year, which was 2021, I think we had the community workshops, but we had like I could pretty spread out where there's one community workshop at a time. And the past 2 years now, we've had like 2, 3, 4 overlapping at a time at multiple time slots for each day. And it's just really amazing to have such a breadth of offering. And also it's challenging because they're all so amazing. Like, how do you pick? But yeah, a good issue to have.
I think so. I was talking to Liz a little bit, that just to interject for 1 second, about how cool it is to have so many different workshops happening at every time, so you can really choose your own adventure for your energy level, which then teaches us all to check in with our own energies and our own desires as we go.
That's so important, and I know sometimes we envision that we want to do one thing, and then in a moment our body's asking for something else. And I know I've slept through workshops that I've like really have wanted to go to before, and sometimes I just had to adjust to listen. And yeah, that's like one of the really amazing parts about the variety, that there's always something to nourish and receive from. And even if you want to just go for a space or take a nap, like you always have that opportunity to really give and receive yourself what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, I don't know. I was going to try and transition or something. Ooh.
Transition. Mm-hmm.
Had these really amazing roles that Big Five did.
Keep talking.
Hi, Katie. And Big Five was amazing at it with safety, security, and info, and just being a really beautiful, informational and inspirational hub. This year for Fire Alchemy, we had a WhatsApp group, so people could meet and communicate and receive updates each morning. There were really beautiful reminders for the day and inspirational quotes and different things, and just being able to set the tone and send information that is like supportive for the day, which is like a really beautiful addition that I think we want to continue to dive into. And I think, well, yeah, that's like that. Yeah, that's something that I think we're going to continue to grow and expand on. And I don't know. These are all also ideas, and it's going to be me discussing all this with a really great group of individuals. And so these are really just also my brainstorm ideas from my logistical.
Mm-hmm. I love your logistical brain. Well, what's cool about the info, safety and security. I love Big Find. So Big Find's amazing. Big Find found and like tapped into this through the Pvssy Magic program, and then swooped into the fire and is now just sharing fire and spinning fire all over the place. I love her. And Big Find, like we had this role and we were like, okay, we need to have something. Like we had this vision of like, okay, there has to like something to hold the info, to like be eyes on the place. There's not really like defined role for it. So it was really cool to see how this role really like defined itself. And I think Big Find got to sculpt it and view it, or like inhabit it, and then like understood what it was about as it was happening, because of the needs of the community and like what actually needed to happen. And so I think that it's just so beautiful that now all your visions are layering on top of that to like deepen it and strengthen it and see like where else it can best serve the community. Not to have a role for a role's sake or a team for a team's sake, but to recognize that it's an integral role, integral piece, let's say, that really sets fire alchemy apart from anything else that one person can go to, you know, a flow festival or anything. They're all different. They're all different.
They all have their gems.
They do.
I think this one's really about sharing the fire in community and being able to connect and grow into self really in like a safe and like caring container. Not about the tricks and the flair. I mean, those things are involved. Like those happen, but like that's not and focus and being able to just be.
Yeah, just to be. Mm. Hold on. You want to chat for a few more minutes? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I like those classes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think I like scratched my eye last night getting my contact out, so it's a no contacts day. So we love boss bitch. So something I would love to talk to you about too is passing the torch. What and how that means. I talked in one of the other lives. Oh my gosh! Hi. Big fans listening to us just like love up on you. Okay, good. But this concept of passing the torch, and for me, graceful goodbyes. I'm not really saying goodbye. I'm not leaving, you know, but I am taking a pause on a lot. But talking to Liz Campanella today, Liz Campanella Breen, about leadership and cultivating leadership in other people, and how special, like what a gift that is. Because it's really hard to be a leader. A lot of times you're on like public blast a lot, you know, even like as a producer, or, you know, like there's a certain responsibility. But I also think it's amazing to have that responsibility to self, and not like the image of self or how people perceive, but how one actually shows up in a role, and how as a leader you embody what it is, like the pillars, right? How you embody what you create, teach, but then it just folds in on itself because you're embodying it and you're living it. Then it happens because because you're already doing it. You know what I mean? And so it's this really juicy feedback loop and like hall of mirrors that starts to then cultivate other people to step into leadership and this circular form of leadership. This in the Burning Man, you know, in the Burning Man spheres, it's participation. It's getting involved in the world you wish to see, and by leaning in and embodying what the gathering does, it allows you to even just step into leadership in your life and to step into leadership in your own spheres that may be different from the the fire community or anything. But I think in passing the torch, it's like the opening ritual we do on Thursdays. For me, it's letting my flame, our flames, like really go out and light others, but at the same time to then be lit by others. Like it goes both ways in so many ways. So I want to know how it is for you to be just a few years ago, really like handed this torch and be like, "You want to hold this? What's up?"
You sharing that makes me think of to hold and to be held, and how like really go both ways, and how I have received that in stepping into this role the past couple of years, and I've been planning events and things for half my life. So I've had a variety of experience, and I always love to share and like get involved when I can. So I think from the very beginning, I stepped in to share what I could, and that wasn't for everyone. There are definitely experiences that I had where I just got to experience and like enjoy and not be on also. But the timing finally worked out because I knew for some time I wanted to lean in more and just didn't have the bandwidth capacity. And when we realized most shifts were happening, I knew it was time for me to step in, and so it just kind of goes into but knowing that you were shifting away, I wasn't really sure what I wanted and how I would want to move forward. So I wasn't really intending on like stepping in to receive the torch per se, but very early on site, it became very clear that it wasn't really a question that next year was going to happen, and that there was so much interest and passion from both like the attendees as well as the team of how we continue to grow and improve and what we want to add, and just how we want to continue this community. Made me realize that this was kind of something that I wanted without, like, I guess I knew I wanted, but didn't realize it was actually what I wanted. And I mean, I don't even completely know what it is either. I'm going, planning things and sharing my thoughts and trying to just rally the troops of the community for those who have interest and passion in getting involved. And so, yeah, I'm really interested and curious to see how we co-collaborate and co-create and envision for the future in this really beautiful, way where there is one or two people in charge, but we're working as a circular unit in a variety of areas to make this experience come together. Oh, hi, thank you. I got fake.
Hi, Dylan.
There's my
While you're chewing, I hear you on that, and how I'm just going to reflect quickly while you chew how grateful I am too that you stepped in and you stepped up and you felt comfortable and excited to do so, because you didn't have to either. And it is really incredible to see you grow, to see you step into this new level of self-embodiment empowered presence, and to just also trust in you completely, and your skills and your talents and your capacity to grow and change throughout it, because I think that's potentially the most important to learn and grow and change, for all of us. I know. Yeah, so I see you, and I'm excited in so many ways, because I think passing the torch, right? It's not like you have the only torch now, like I still have a torch, but you have a torch, and so does everybody in the circle. Like everyone who wants one can come up and step in, but it also is that weight to hold the torch and to keep it lit and to know how to wield it safely, and to be present with it. What?
Like, does it mean like we're like fire keepers or something?
Yeah, it's like we're fire keepers. Oh my gosh, guess what? Ellie, you made me a certificate. Whoa, don't look at that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. You're official, G.
I'm official. I'm official. Oh, gee. I did find all the other ones. Here's my cute little room. Look at those titties. That is all. But, yeah. Fire keepers. You're a fire keeper. And I think musing into what it is to be a keeper of the fire is a really potent activity.
And I realized during the shared event that I share and hold the fire for all those that have come before and all those that get to come. So as I think and vision into next year, I really want it to be a celebration and just like a big family affair of all those who have been a part of Midnight Firekeepers previously. I know I've met so many amazing people through this experience past 2.5 years now, and I know that this has expanded to higher, and it's just so vast and international. So, like I said, the other experiences are retreats are really curated, and this is a really open, fun community gathering. And like, who doesn't want to party with like 50 plus of your best friends? Like, come on now.
I know,
so
right?
I like want to call in all of the firekeepers that are out there that have gotten to experience a really like transformational experience with both you and Kiki, and to join the fun in a experience where you get to co-create and envision and put forth what you want to see and what you want to see. Be your most authentic self in a really beautiful, nourishing castle.
Right? And I feel like that reverberates out too. It's we've learned to be our own authentic selves in places like the castle, or St. Croix at Larimar, or locations to be determined in the future. But then that reverberates out. And so whether all you fire keepers out there spin fire often or don't, like, it doesn't matter. You're a keeper of the fire, and like that's your soul inside. And that authentic self reverberates out to touch the people around you, whether you're creating fire dancing or like Kim Bustable, who hasn't actually spun fire very much, again, since the second fire alchemy. I think Kim came to the one that you were at the first time, but is now creating a whole like burlesque situation based on that same authenticity, and it's really amazing to see our own creative powers at play when we step into that, and we can practice that radical authenticity within ourselves, with each other as mirrors. Oh, our lives are so cool.
They really are.
Is that a good place to wrap it, you think?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Am I like one of those Instagram filters? Big eyes and duck face.
Am I cute?
Just like lip filler.
I don't know what
No
I'm doing.
shame on lip filler, y'all. I get it. But we're just okay. If you watch this far, send me funny pictures of your lips. Okay. Well, I love you, LD. Thanks for.
Susie, thank you so much for having me. And
All the time, every time. And I'll see you next Thursday in New York City.
oh, yay! I'm so glad that I get to. That's the thing. Yeah, we're gonna be on the beach in New York City, Long Island City,
Yeah.
September 7 to 10 p.m. Yeah, New York Keepers, come on out. We'll be hanging out with our angel fire and Fire. So, yeah, looking forward to connecting with some keepers next week. Fuck yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so grilled. And I'm going to be touching my favorite Lady Lane, and I can't wait.
It's not going to be a pocket lane. It's going to be like an in-person lane.
Oh my God, it's not going to be a pocket lane. I'm going to cry from happiness. And then I'm going to get to see you again, but I feel like I got to see you again. All right, get to see you so much. So.
Which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah,
so,
but I need an LD hug, like, fill up, so we're going to have to get that in.
Oh, we'll definitely have cuddle sesh time.
And I challenge you to a poi duel.
Oh. Okay, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Save the date, August 1st through 5th, 2024.
Seriously, save it. Book your plane tickets early. Plan on coming the day before. Cool.
That things up for sleep, so stay tuned.
Yes. Bye. Love you all. Bye.